I believe the biggest problem in the world is that people don't understand themselves enough. This show is designed to help you understand your INFJ personality, heal from your past, and create a life that you love. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and this is the Quiet Ones podcast. Hi there! On today's episode of The Quiet Ones, I have a special treat for you. Yesterday, May 1st, we started day 1 of the 21-day Find Your Purpose Challenge. So today on the podcast, I wanted to give you guys a preview of what that challenge actually looks like and give you an opportunity to still get in, just in case you were thinking about it and weren't quite sure. I really want to help you find your purpose, and I'm convinced that all of the information in this challenge is going to help you do that. So today I'm going to share with you the lesson for day 1 of the challenge and give you the opportunity to download the workbook and the meditation that goes along with the lesson for day 1. You'll find the link for the workbook and the meditation in the show notes. So without further ado, here is the lesson for day 1 of my 21-day Purpose Challenge. Hi there. Welcome to the Purpose Challenge. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so glad that you've finally taken this step to finding your purpose. It's a big thing to admit that you want something bigger for you in life than what you already have. It's not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. But for those who desire something more, taking this step is absolutely everything. This challenge is going to do just that. Challenge you. Challenge you to think outside of the box, to do things you haven't done before, to want things that you've never admitted before. I want you to know that wherever this challenge leads you, it's okay. It's okay for you to want more. It's okay to not be satisfied with what everyone else wants. It's okay to be called for something more, to feel like you have a bigger thing to do in this world than everybody else. It's okay to have a desire to change the world. So many of us INFJs do, but so many other people don't understand that at all. I also want you to know that you are capable of changing the world. You really are. All it takes is one person who's willing to show up and to care. All too often, we talk ourselves out of our dreams before we even have the chance to finish the dream. We focus on what's realistic and what we know to be possible. I heard this story from a fellow podcaster. She was talking about a little boy who got this assignment in school to draw what he thought his biggest dream was in life, what he wanted to be in life. And he drew a pizza delivery man. And so his teacher encouraged him in the moment, but she also wanted to talk to his mom later. She wanted to know why the biggest thing that this little boy could dream about being in life, it wasn't a superhero, it wasn't a firefighter, it wasn't an astronaut like all the other kids drew. It was a pizza delivery man. So she sat down with his mom later and she said, "Do you know why your little boy only dreams about being a pizza delivery man?" And his mom said, "It doesn't really surprise me that he drew a pizza delivery man. His dad hasn't been present in his life at all. And his uncle is only present sometimes, but his uncle is a pizza delivery man. That's the only father figure that he's had in his life. That's all that he knows." The moral of the story is that we reach for the highest branch that we can see. We focus on what's realistic and what we believe to be possible, what we've seen other people around us do, what we've seen people in our family do, what we've seen our friends do. But I want to tell you that anything is possible. It's not only possible for you to do things that you believe are realistic or that you believe are possible. Once you expand your view of what's realistic and of what's possible, then anything can be possible. Literally anything. When I was growing up, I decided that I wanted to be an engineer because I wanted to work in NASCAR. And for me, that was a really crazy thing to say. And all of my friends and family thought that too. I was a cute, preppy little girl who loved dresses and frilly purses and all of the sweet and cute things that are so synonymous with little girls. And so for me to stand up and say, hey, I want to be an engineer and go work on race cars, everybody thought that was completely insane. Plus, I knew nobody who worked around race cars. I knew nothing about race cars. And so everyone thought it was completely crazy. But for some reason, I believed that I could do this. I believed that if I just believed it hard enough, that my dream would come true. And so it took me quite a few years, and I did change my dream a little bit along the way. But before I knew it, I was working in NASCAR. I was going to the racetrack every single week. I was living out my dream. So again, the moral of the story is we reach for the highest branch that we can see. We build our lives around what we believe is realistic and what we believe is possible. A lot of times when you're thinking about your purpose in life and what is possible for you, we tend to judge ourselves. We tend to worry about what other people think. We tend to worry about what we are capable of. Especially as INFJs, we worry about being an introvert and having anxiety. And we start thinking about all of the little details of something before we even get to the point of, is that what I want to do or is that not what I want to do? When we get into this place of judgment, we always revert back to one saying, I don't know. I know I do this a lot. when I'm telling somebody that I want something or that I want to do something or that I'm thinking about doing something and they shoot me down, the first thing that I say is, I don't know. Maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I haven't thought it all through yet. Maybe I don't have enough money. Maybe I'm not good enough. It all starts with, I don't know. But let me tell you a secret about I don't know. It's a limiting belief. That little phrase, those three little words, they're holding you back because the truth is that you do know. If a genie showed up on your doorstep and asked you for 3 wishes, you know exactly what you'd wish for. I'm sure we would all wish for more wishes, right? That's what you're supposed to wish for. But you would have a list of things that you would say, this is really what I want. This is how I want my life to be. If you won the lottery tomorrow, you know exactly what you'd buy. You know exactly what you want. You know what you want. But when you think about it, judgment ultimately creeps up. Self-judgment, judgment from other people, worrying about judgment. There's a lot of judgment. It gets really judgy really quickly. When that happens, I want you to choose something else. There's an affirmation that helps me so much every time I feel judgment or fear creeping in, because really judgment is just another word for fear. Here's the affirmation. When I feel fear creeping back in, I choose gratitude instead. Gratitude is one of those things that will get fear out of your mind quicker than anything else. Being grateful for all of the little things, even just the fact that you're sitting inside right now rather than outside, the fact that you have a comfortable chair to sit in, the fact that you have an internet connection, maybe you're listening to this on a computer or on your smartphone. All of those little things will help get your mind out of fear and into gratitude. And ultimately, back to dreaming, back to believing what's possible, back to knowing that you are worthy and that you are capable of anything that you want. There's one last thing that I want to cover today. I want you to give yourself permission to be a C student. When we think about our purpose, a lot of times we get stuck on perfection. We want to know what the right thing is, what the perfect thing is, what the thing is that we know that we're capable of, that we can do right now, that we can do for the rest of our lives. We don't want to make any mistakes, right? We don't want to waste any time. We don't want to waste any money. All of that perfectionism is holding you down. It's making this process so much more difficult. But when you give yourself permission to be a C student, you release all of that perfectionism. You don't need the right answer right now. You just need an answer right now. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need everything to be perfectly packaged and completely correct right now. All you need is to just get the work done. Just get to an answer and give yourself credit for doing the work. I guarantee you that when you give yourself permission to be a C student, it will take all of the pressure off of you and you will feel so much better. So with that, I want to encourage you to download the workbook for today. In the workbook today, there's a series of questions that will help you start to figure out what it is that you actually want. It'll help you think about what you're afraid of and what you love to do and what the world needs. All of these things are such important questions, but I want to encourage you to not put too much pressure on yourself when you're answering the questions. Look at the question, take it for what it is, and answer it the best way that you can. Don't worry about, is it the right answer? Is it the wrong answer? Don't worry about how you're going to find your purpose through the answers to some of these questions. One of the questions is, what do you love? And some of my answers were, well, I love chocolate ice cream, and I love New Kids on the Block, and I love going to the beach. Did I find my purpose in any of those things? No, absolutely not. But some of the other answers that I wrote down were, I love learning. I love understanding. I love helping people. And I certainly found my purpose through those things. So again, make sure that you focus on being a C student and not perfection. And make sure that you don't limit yourself to only answers that you feel like you could have a career from or that could be your purpose. Just write down whatever comes to mind. You'll also notice pages in between the questions that say, take a minute to pause. And what do you notice about your answers to these questions? Those are the perfect time for you to look back at your answers and pull together some of the things that you find in common, some of the recurring themes that keep coming up over and over again. That's a great time to pull all of those things together and start looking for ideas of what your purpose could be. Also remember, this is a 21-day challenge. You don't need to find your purpose today. In fact, the vast majority of you won't, and that's totally fine. We have 20 more days to figure it out, and we will definitely figure it out, I promise you. All right, that's it for today. Check out the workbook, go dive into the questions, and if you have any additional questions, please know that you can contact me anytime throughout this challenge. You'll find my email in the Welcome to the Challenge Before We Begin section. I just wanted to let you know one more time that you can still get in on the 21-day purpose challenge. You can find all of the information at infjwoman.com/purpose challenge. And if you follow the link in the show notes, you can get access to the workbook for day 1 and the meditation as well. But make sure that you don't wait because it's only going to be available for just a couple of more days.